Hi friends, it is the 43rd lesson of Excel learning series. In the last three classes, we were discussing about pivot table. What is a pivot table? How can use pivot table to insert graph? That all things we learned in the last few classes. Today, we are going to learn about slicer. What is a slicer? What are its properties? How we can connect a slicer to a pivot table or more than one pivot table. All these will be explained in today's lesson.
Let us have a recap of inserting a pivot table. So first we have the data and we convert this into a table. So we explained why we are converting this data into a table in the previous videos. So Control T, then a table is created, then go to Insert tab. So here normally we click here. So here also we have some recommended pivot table. We have the last class also recommended pivot table from some other tab, pivot table analyze tab. So recommended pivot table, I click here. So suggestions are there. So from here we can select and preview will be here. We click on here, a pivot table created in a new sheet. Okay, here everything we have explained. So suppose we want, here also the recommended pivot table in pivot table analyze we have selected from here in the last video. So suppose we want another pivot table, we can do one thing. So just to copy it and select here and paste here. So we have a same pivot table. So we can make changes into the pivot table. So suppose instead of salesperson, we want the product here. So here we can just drag and drop product here. So product wise pivot table. Now, so again, suppose we want, we can copy and paste and make some changes. We need these changes for explain something. Instead of total sales, we have units sold into the value. So this is the pivot table. So we can rename this pivot table for convenience. We explained this in the previous videos. So pivot table analyze. This is the pivot table 2. So here what we do is select this. This is the salesperson wise pivot table. So we click select here and give the names. You can give any convenient name. Salespersons. We have given the name. So here this we can give the product. Here also product. Then we can give this as unit sold. So we can give a convenient name. That's all. That's unit sold. Okay, we assigned three names. So here what we are going to learn is, suppose we have region to the filters. We have placed region to the filters in three cases. So actually we can do it earlier before copying. So then we not do this one by one. Suppose we have already copied and placed here, this region will also be there. So we click and drag to the region. Now this is independent pivot table. Suppose we want to filter the region wise. If you select center, so central wise, that is central wise salesperson report is here, but here it is all region all. It is not the center wise. So here also, if you want, we have to make changes here. Select here. We have to give center, and so now we are going to learn how we can link these three pivot tables and have region wise, that is center or north or something like that, in one click. That we are going to learn now. So we want to connect all these pivot table. We select one pivot table and go to pivot table analyze, and here a new thing we are going to learn, command insert slicer. Just click on that and select the region, because we want the region wise list when for all pivot table. So click OK. So here a region wise slicer is inserted here. We can click the drag and make changes, place anywhere. Suppose we are going to place here and we have to make changes. So this is the column 1. So we want horizontal. So we increase 5 column into 5 columns. Then what happens? 5 column is there. We can click and drag to resize it. So here we have 5 column pivot table, and you can make changes to these colors, etc., by selecting the slicer. Is when we select the slicer, and slicer tab is created, and we can select the slicer model from here, dark model, anything else we can select. Okay, then here when you select central, here changes comes east, this becomes east. First, this is not connected. So here we can click here to remove filter, and we have the all here. So, okay, then how to connect this? So these two pivot tables are not connected to the slicer. That is why when you select north, only north is shown here. Here also, here it is the center, and we have to make changes all into making changes. So this is all, this is all. So we can close this one. So you can remove the filter. This is all. When you select east, only here also, here east, here these two regions not changing. So we are going to connect the slicer to these two pivot table also. So remove the filter, then go to slicer. Then here you can see report connections. You can click here, or you can select the slicer and right click. Then here also context menu, you can select report connections. So here we have three pivot table. We renamed that. So only salesperson, the pivot table named salesperson is have selection. So just to check these two also, then click OK. Now when you select the east, here also sales of east is available region. Here also east is available. Here also east is available. In this way we can select. So we can easily filter the pivot table by clicking on the tab on the slicer. So slicer is very important for us for easily filtering, and also slicer is very important for creating a dashboard. Now let us see what happens when we insert chart connected to each pivot table. So we select this, then pivot chart. So pivot chart we can select from here. Here we select one and click OK. On these things we explained, we can format this by right clicking or selecting here design. You can select a, I select a one thing here. This is the column chart. So similarly we insert, we explained all these things, how to format this, how to remove this, and how to make the change heading, and here also many things we explained. And we're going to insert another chart. So how these are connected to, we can explain. So another chart that is for this pivot table. We also make changes to this one, this design also again. Okay, then another one from for this one. So we do this very quickly because we already explained pivot chart in the previous lesson. So here we have three chart connected to each pivot table. Then again we select one design. For uniformity we select the same design. So we can make changes all these things. Now then we click here. You can see that you can see the changes for the chart also changes according to this. And suppose we can make changes to this as summarized by value as row total or column total. We explained all this column total we select, this becomes percentage, and we can bring this percentage on this on the top of each column. We can have the exact figure of Anil, that is 14.46. We explained how to display this label here. So by selecting here, selecting the label, data label, we can select this data call out, or in the there are many options. We select when you click this data label. So data label is displayed here. You can make changes to heading also. Suppose we want to here also we can have make changes to total by selecting here. So value as column total, and here also percentage. And this is the laptop is the highest percentage. We can see we can make display for this also by selecting this data label. So here suppose we want to make changes to chart type. So then what we do is we click here, then you can go to the design tab, change chart type, or you can right click here and you can also select change chart type from context menu also. So click here. So here we select the pie chart. In the pie chart itself there are different format. So we select this, okay, donut type, then click OK. So this is the another chart type. We can again change this type by selecting from here. So here you can select. So then when you select the another type, the background is white. So we have to change the background. So you can right click here and you can select format chart area from the context menu, then click on this. So here you can select the fill color. Here it is a white. You can select the color from here. So into this. So when you can change the heading also. So by clicking on this, so you take the text option. Here it is. We can change this into white color. So in this way we can change the chart type also. So when you click here, there will be, you can close this for watching the other chart also. You can click on that, then there will be changes. Here the legend is shown, 3 colors, one for this. Here you can format this also by selecting uh, here, then format, then you can change the colors, font here black or white or something like that. So for visibility you can select from here. So white will be better, you can select white from here. And also style also you can select from here for better readability. In this way we can easily connect pivot table and the chart associated with the pivot table using a slicer. You can click here to remove the filter. Actually this is a filtering method using slicer. So this is very important because we use this for creating dashboard in Excel using pivot table and slicers. So you have to practice this very well using different pivot table and creating chart and slicers. Then only you can easily create a dashboard. And a link for the practice file given in the description of this video. You can download the link and practice it very well. So we wind up the class for today and we will meet again in the next week. Till then, goodbye. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching the video.